Residents near Wartime bomb site in Quarry Bay gradually return home following a 9-hour disposal operation under heavy rain. Sea levels next week may swell to those seen during Typhoon Hato in 2017 and Typhoon Mangkhut in 2018. And U.S. President Donald Trump rolls out a $1 million gold card, a visa fast track for wealthy foreigners to live and work in the United States. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Cheryl Yun. The highly dangerous wartime bomb discovered in a Quarry Bay neighborhood has been successfully disposed of shortly before noon, following a 9-hour effort by police and experts. Quinton Yang shares more.
Plumes of black smoke billowed from a construction site on Panhoy Street this morning, as experts safely incinerated explosives of a 1,000-pound World War II American aerial bomb unearthed a day earlier. The force said bomb disposal officers worked through the night from 2 a.m. to dispose of the ordnance, which contained 227 kilograms of TNT explosives and was described as very dangerous. The team spent 4 hours cutting open a 1-foot hole before beginning the slow process of burning out explosive. Adverse weather, including rain and poor visibility, slightly prolonged the operation. The disposal concluded successfully at around 11:48 a.m., sooner than the anticipated 12 hours.
This is one of the quickest operations that we have conducted in the last 12 years. We ranging from our operation from 17 hours to 27 hours. And we managed to successfully conduct our 3 different stages of the bomb disposal operation within 9 hours. Our estimation of the operation within the 12 hours range is considered to be very conservative.
Sri Anto added that the powerful incineration proved why on-site destruction was necessary. Speaking on a radio program, Chief Executive John Lee praised the force's efficient response to the incident. First discovered by construction workers yesterday, the bomb prompted the emergency evacuation of some 6,000 residents and road closures. It is the latest of several World War II-era bombs found in Hong Kong, a former battlefield, with a similar device uncovered in Wan Chai in 2018. Quinton Yang, Cable News.
Meanwhile, around 6,000 residents from 18 nearby buildings have gradually returned to their homes after the wartime bomb was safely disposed of. According to Fire Services Department, 5 individuals have felt unwell and were sent to hospital. Jeremy Zhu has the story.
Around 1 p.m., buses began transporting residents back from community centers, marking the end of a night during which many were unable to return home. Carrying large bags of personal belongings, many were assisted on site by care teams and civil aid service volunteers.
Actually, I think the police response and the EOD people did a great job. And even now they're doing a great job because they're being overly safe to make sure that everything is okay. I don't care how long I have to wait, as long as no one gets hurt and everything is safe.
This woman expressed her relief at being able to return home after having stayed at a relative's residence overnight. She praised the government for its quick response and thorough care for affected residents. However, some shared feelings of anxiety and uncertainty. This resident mentioned that although temporary shelter was provided at a community center with essential supplies and food, it was still not as comfortable as being at home. This woman, who looks after her elderly parent in his 80s with the help of a domestic helper, said the senior could not sleep well at the shelter, so the family booked a hotel. However, the cold room and unfamiliar environment also kept him awake through the night. Since yesterday's evacuation, multiple community centers were opened by the Home Affairs Department for affected residents. This morning, volunteers were on site distributing breakfast and supplies at the centers. Jeremy Chu, Cable News.
In other news, Hong Kongers are put on high alert for some extreme weather next week as Typhoon Mangkhut could grow into a super typhoon while it keeps approaching the city. Bess Leung has more.
All typhoon warnings were cancelled this morning as Tropical Depression Metok moved further away from Hong Kong. However, the observatory has given heads-up not just once in the past few days about the possible arrival of soon-to-be Super Typhoon Mangkhut midweek next week, with the weather notably worsening. It said Mangkhut is expected to move towards the vicinity of Luzon Strait in the next couple of days and then edges closer to the coast of Guangdong with super typhoon intensity. Gale to storm force winds will prevail on Wednesday, while the weather will be adverse with heavy squally showers and thunderstorms. The Weather Watchdog also cautions that under the influence of significant storm surge, the sea level over coastal areas by then may be similar to that of Hato in 2017 and Mangkhut in 2018. Urging residents to closely follow the latest weather information and brace for high winds and flooding. Separately, Chief Executive John Lee stated that the authorities would make arrangements for responsive actions and would release information as the situation develops. Bess Leung, Cable News.
Local airlines are expecting service disruptions next Tuesday to Thursday due to the arrival of Typhoon Mangkhut. Cathay Pacific, Hong Kong Airlines and Greater Bay Airlines said passengers originally departing Hong Kong during September 23rd to 25th can make changes to their flights with rebooking and rerouting fees waived for all affected flights. Meanwhile, Greater Bay Airlines offered to refund those passengers originally scheduled to depart on September 24th, while other flight service from Tuesday to Thursday may have to be adjusted, with 4 flights flying between Hong Kong and Quanzhou already cancelled. Chief Executive John Lee told iCable News that a dedicated law for the Northern Metropolis will streamline repetitive reviews to speed up development, while clearly defining what's permitted under the new rules. In his policy address, Lee signaled that the Northern Metropolis is no longer a distant dream, but a bold vision requiring urgent action to become reality. The government plans to introduce a dedicated law for the Northern Metropolis within next year to simplify legal processes, including establishing statutory park companies. Speaking on our program Let's Talk, Lee explained that a framework law is the way forward as it could eliminate redundant approvals, saving time and effort. It would allow agreed-upon elements to skip repeated reviews, making the process fairer and more efficient, he said. Lee stressed that the new law will not override existing Hong Kong regulations and will clearly outline what's allowed and how it interacts with other rules. Regarding funding, the city chief said the exact amount is still under review as it depends on the project scale and development phases. Speculation suggests the whole development could cost over $1 trillion. Lee acknowledged the massive investment needed. We're talking about a third of Hong Kong's land. Development already requires huge funds, and the Northern Metropolis, with its high value, will likely need even more, he said, adding that a dedicated task force will explore funding solutions to address this challenge. U.S. President Donald Trump announced a new Gold Card visa program offering non-Americans a fast-track path to securing U.S. citizenship by investing $1 million or more. The move is paired with $100,000 fee increase for skilled worker visas, signaling a broader crackdown on all forms of immigration. Trump signed an executive order offering Gold Card visas for non-Americans hoping to become permanent residents of the U.S. Under the program, individuals who pay at least $1 million to the U.S. will be eligible for a fast-track immigrant visa. Corporations can also sponsor applicants by paying double.
To come in, they're going to pay as opposed to walking over the borders, and they may come from jails, prisons, and everything else. These people don't. They're very productive people, and they're going to pay $1 million. The corporation is going to pay $2 million, and it's going to raise billions of dollars, billions and billions of dollars, which is going to go to reduce taxes, pay off debt, and other good things.
Separately, Trump raised the H-1B visa fee by $100,000, a non-immigrant visa allowing up to 85,000 high-skilled foreign workers annually to work in the U.S. for up to 6 years. The fee hike is expected to significantly reduce applications and could add millions in costs for companies, dealing a blow to industries like technology, which rely heavily on H-1B workers to fill specialized roles. Trump insisted that tech companies, which contributed generously to his presidential campaign, would support the changes, stating that everyone's going to be happy. Estonia has accused Russia of violating its airspace, claiming 3 Russian fighter jets entered its territory in an unprecedented and brazen incursion. The NATO member state has sought help with the military bloc for interception, while Russia denied the accusation. Quinton Yang has more details.
The Estonian government said that the incident happened Friday morning when 3 Russian MiG-31 fighter jets flew near its Vindaloo island in the Gulf of Finland for a total of 12 minutes without permission. Estonian Foreign Ministry has summoned Russian ambassador's representative for protest. The foreign minister condemned the violation as totally unacceptable, noting it was the 4th this year. Estonia requested a consultation with other NATO members, scheduled for next week. The bloc responded by scrambling Italian F-35s stationed in Estonia, supported by Swedish and Finnish aircrafts, to intercept and escort the Russian jets out. Russia later denied the accusation, insisting the flight was carried out in strict accordance with international rules and without violating the borders of other countries. U.S. President Donald Trump, when asked to comment on the incident, said the incursion could be big trouble. Tensions have escalated between NATO and Russia since a war broke out between Moscow and Kyiv in 2022, partly due to the military alliance's eastern expansion. During the past week, Poland and Romania, both NATO members, also said Russian drones breached their airspace. In response, NATO pledged to move military assets, including fighter jets, further eastwards to strengthen defense. Quinton Yang, Cable News.
President Xi Jinping and U.S. President Donald Trump planned to visit each other and would meet next month in South Korea, the U.S. leader announced after a 2-hour phone call between the two leaders. Both sides also agreed on a TikTok transaction deal. Meanwhile, Xi expressed his pleasure at reaching a solution that aligns with mainland regulations and balances interests. Jeremy Zhu reports.
Trump described the discussions as productive and positive, with progress made on several issues. In addition to meeting Xi in the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation meeting scheduled in 6 weeks, he anticipates visiting China early next year, while Xi is expected to visit the U.S. in due course.
I had a great call with President Xi, and as you know, he approved the TikTok deal. The TikTok deal is well on its way, as you know, and the investors are getting ready. And I think China wanted to see it stay open, too.
The Chinese side, however, did not mention the approval of the agreement. Xinhua News quoted Xi stating that Beijing's position on TikTok is clear. It respects business interests and hopes for successful negotiations that comply with regulations. He called on the U.S. to ensure a fair environment for Chinese companies. During the call, Xi emphasized the importance of U.S.-China relations, noting that recent talks have shown a spirit of equality and respect, allowing them to address key bilateral issues for mutual benefit. He advised the U.S. to avoid unilateral trade restrictions that might disrupt the progress already made. The two leaders also discussed the September 3rd military parade in Beijing, with Xi noting that the Chinese people remember the support from the U.S. and other allies during the war, as Trump praised the parade as impressive. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
On to the weather now. Mainly cloudy with occasional showers and squally thunderstorms. Showers will be heavy at times at first. Temperatures will range between 25 and 30 degrees. Moderate southerly winds becoming east to southeasterlies tomorrow. Occasionally fresh offshore later. Now let's take a look at the weather around the world. That's our news tonight. I'm Cheryl Yun. Thanks for watching and good night.